Welcome back, sports fans, to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic is reverse retrospective Buffalo Sabres 2.0. Shrems and John, take it away.
The second reverse retro jersey from
Yeah,
Buffalo.
yeah. I I love and hate this thing at the same time. But first and foremost, is it a good reverse retro?
Well, I think we need to start long before. I think that's the final question.
Oh
and
my God,
that's
we've jumped ahead.
I'm not ready for that question yet.
Phil, take us in.
Okay, so first question is how does the original look?
So the original look, as a kid I hated this thing. A lot of my times I hated how the original looked because it's not traditional. It's angled stripes everywhere, a lot of tapering and things. These horns on the side. I mean, all these things. But looking back, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think it took some time to appreciate, some time away from Goathead to appreciate it. I very much agree. It's not a look for everybody, but now that it's back, people are like, oh my God.
And I think part of the problem was it was a look for everybody because every junior and Mike team, everyone who could, picked up this jersey and put it in different colors with
Yep.
their own logo.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
everywhere, and I think that's really probably what put me off. If it's too much of it, it's not for everyone.
Yep.
It works in this context. And the goat head, it's very well. The fact that we nicknamed it the goat head also says something about it. But like it looks very good. It doesn't all. I mean, there's a lot going on in it, but
Yep.
it is dynamic and angry mascot without being mascot-y.
Yeah.
So I think it's very good. And this shoulder patch I think is super underrated, and I can't believe it hasn't made a comeback.
Yeah, and we've always talked about like how does Buffalo do their next like winter classic idea. Incorporating this might be into it somewhere.
Would make sense.
I'd see it more as like a stadium series. That Charging Buffalo that they had, sorry, Charging Bison that they had on their last winter classic was gorgeous and would translate well to a primary logo for another outdoor game. But
So that's the original. Phil, no, actually, we probably should mix this up because I think we have a lot to say about the new one on its own.
yeah,
Is this a good reverse retro?
it checks all the boxes. Like you are throwing back with a different color scheme. What I hate is that they did absolutely nothing different than the reverse retro one. It's the same white jersey, same color scheme. There is nothing dynamic. It's not yellow. If they did a yellow and a blue with some splashes of white, that'd be something completely different. But they literally took the exact same reverse retro concept and just smacked the goat head on it.
Yeah, I don't know why they got a white twice. Have a jersey for home games, so the other team doesn't have to haul around a second set of dark
Yeah.
set of jerseys. I actually did. I think it's a terrible reverse retro as a reverse retro.
Explain.
So and this is you. I think we're starting to get to allude to it with holding these out.
Yeah.
Of the differences that this is missing pieces. It's not a faithful translation in that you can see that okay, here we have black, white, red, gray. Here it just goes white, blue, gold, and they even have the stitching
They
for
have
an
it
extra
there.
piece. And you could do it even in the end, and they just didn't. This missing gray or missing red in this context, I think, is everything. I think that these missing pieces, this extra color, is the difference between great and terrible. And you can tell it's a flip of the black because the shoulders aren't involved in any way, shape, or form, and the white had those black shoulders.
Yeah.
And the same thing here, right? You even have the cutout for gray,
It's there.
and they didn't.
And they didn't do anything with it.
In the logo, and we're going to need jersey cam on this because it's close. All of the silver has been replaced with white stitching.
Well, you're not going to see
Yeah,
that.
that's way too blown out for this to.
Oh, there you go. There you go. A little bit.
You put enough dark, you can see the white stitching here, instead of silver. By omitting silver entirely in all of it, I think they blew it.
Which is funny because how many people are looking at this jersey on that level?
But like I think the silver is a huge con. If you look at Reverse Retro 1, the goat head on the shoulders,
It's got that
it has
razzle
silver.
dazzle to it.
So let's try this one more time. I need you to manipulate the other crest, but the silver is totally there. Whereas on the other one, it's just white. It's elevated stitched white. Where here it's properly sparkly silver. And I think so when it's not shining, there's a huge difference. This gray this gray silver is a major contrast issue. And so here, all the detail and dynamic of this logo is washed out.
Yeah.
And I think they blew it. And that's
it's an excellent point. Like,
seeing in how we look at so many jerseys when it's so close and they blow it is, I think, the things that anger me the most.
yeah, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a smooth like carbon copy transition to it.
So it's a bad reverse, as a reverse retro. It's not doing its job.
For me, it was a poor effort on their part. It was also, and I don't know who thought this was going to be a good idea, but Phil, if you have that picture that I sent over,
Is it a slide?
it is. It should have been. Remember,
Very carefully.
Phil, remember, Phil, when like
Cautious.
2 seconds ago when I like sent you a picture.
He didn't. He didn't.
I did not. Yeah, give me a second.
This stalled then.
So, is this a good jersey? Well, I guess that kind of gets into. They didn't keep silver, but they kept the red eye.
Of course.
That made it, but silver didn't. So yeah, okay, this is fine.
I think
Red's
overall it's fine, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, like you did, where you kind of pick apart those little minute pieces of it, yeah, it could have been a whole lot better. But where this whole thing went wrong is the rest of the uniform that goes along with,
and that's what
the
we're
reverse
working on
retro
at the
too.
moment.
Because we saw in that one stadium series that Toronto like whiteout, total whiteout, and everybody's like, no, that is for one time, sure. What on earth are you doing?
Well,
with
that's another
this?
reason why I say it's a complete flip from the black jersey. Everything black is now white, and
don't know if
I
it was
just
necessary.
it's not. It's a terrible decision. It's a terrible decision. The Washington Capitals wore white pants and were laughed at, and that was just on the road. They wore white pants and
Yeah.
they had to give it up. And now suddenly we're like, oh, white pants, it's cool. Like I've seen a lot of college hockey where they're trying to like white pants, white. And they're like, no, you don't. White pants are for football
Yeah, that's a really
and
good point.
baseball.
Yeah.
Not anywhere else. Not in hockey. The
I
ice is white.
Yeah, I'd say because they reintroduced Goathead as their new third, this makes sense to do, but the execution of it could have been a whole lot better.
Yeah, they flopped on the execution.
Yeah.
C plus on the execution. And
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to.
Would an all yellow jersey, all gold jersey, would that have been too much turd burger?
It would have evoked Turd Burger, but it would have been fun.
Don't want that.
Would have been fun. Well, on that's our thoughts on a good jersey, but it should have been so much better.
Not a good execution.
Not a good execution.
Yep.
So, with that, he's Shrems. I'm John. Phil, take us out.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and tune in for another episode of Ugly Thirds.